What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, a brand new series that I'm very excited to be kicking off. We're starting off a load of different projects at the moment, obviously, with it being in the middle of album season. We're trying to get a lot of album reactions in, but I want to make sure we are still bringing you unique content as well. So this is one of those series we are going to be running. We did put a post up on the channel about it the other day for rollback reactions. As you can see, we're going to be looking at different artists from over the history books of, obviously, the sounds of Afrobeats, maybe even dancehall at some point as well. But what we're going to be doing is breaking down some of their earlier releases that are available on YouTube. So going back, reviewing 3 different songs for about a minute and a half or so, and kind of getting a feel for what their sounds were like back in the day. Really excited to get into this as a brand new series. You guys voted on who you wanted the first artist to be on a poll, and the first artist we're going to be looking at is Olamide, which I'm very, very excited for. A legend in this game, a legend who has really supported a lot of different artists over the years, someone who has really put the work in, both behind the scenes from a label perspective and, of course, developing with collaboration, and, of course, his own releases as well. We're talking about one of the most kind of decorated, I want to say, combination rap figures and sort of Afrobeats figures in general. Someone who's put a lot of work in over the years, and I cannot wait to get into this. So we're going to break down 3 different Olamide tunes today, which I'm really excited for. The first of which is Bobo, and we're going to jump right into it. Let's go. We're still on YBNL. Urgency in that percussion.
It's Young John, the wicked producer.
Hey, yo, ma, whoop it. Hey, yo, ma, whoop it. We're going information. The new radio, the new telly.
So right from the jump with this, I'm loving the backdrop on the instrumental structure. There's so much kind of potency going on with that, with the combination of almost like the rave style synth strings, and then of course that percussion as well. Some almost cowbell sounding action. A lot of really high intensity rhythm work going on. And we've known this over the years that Olamide is someone that thrives in this type of environment. What a way to kick off this one. This one's Bobo. And yeah, it's sounding great so far. Video looks good as well for the time.
To get this money today, but every night and day. Bobo, very low body. You see, darling, they will not get them all. Oh, yeah, Shakiti Bobo.
I'm loving the rhythm on this, man. There's so much bounce to it, but alongside this as well, the bringing in of the kick drums just really turned everything up, and it definitely brought that kind of party feel. I'm assuming this was a tune that must have done really well in the dances at the time. Again, so much bounce, and when you combine it with those sort of rave string synths that just have that natural kind of urgency and that brightness to them, it's gonna make people move. Like, I'm finding it very difficult to sit still to this one, and it's cool to see that Olamide's always been on kind of energetic music as well. Obviously, he's had dips, he's gone into different places, but that sort of theme of energetic, I don't want to necessarily say party starting, but tunes that are going to keep a dance rolling, has always been a part of his repertoire. What a cool way to start things off. We'll give this one another 30 seconds or so and then move on to track number 2. This guy's so good, man. It's so cool to see. What I'm liking about this as well, that kind of beautiful kind of backdrop we're now getting is being amplified even further by new levels of drum rhythm being implemented. You've got this really cool kind of double smash kind of snare sound going on in there. You've also got this more kind of almost woodwindy style of instrument in there as well, kind of going in there as well. And again, it's that constant repetition, that idea of almost to an extent, it's something that's very strong that runs within dance music, which is an almost tribal sense of repetition. And that's something we're starting to hear on this as well with those. I don't know if it sounds almost like an Asian instrument, but I'm pretty sure there'll be a replication of that sort of sound somewhere. But it's crazy. This has been really fun to listen to. So we're going to get into track number 2 next. Really enjoyed this one. Obviously, I don't want to spend too much time on each individual one because a lot of these videos are going to get blocked instantly. I want to make sure they are able to be online, and by doing a minute and a half, it means we are able to kind of get into more than one track track as well and actually get into a bit of a discography search. And this next one actually sees one of the artists we just put a video up about, and that is, of course, WizKid. This is Kanna from Olamide and WizKid. Let's give this one a quick listen. I'm excited to see how it sounds. Let's go.
Legendary beats.
So how long ago was this? This was 2018. It's 5 years, roughly 5 years ago.
If I tell you do like that, I'ma show my tick to the left though. Oh, but we be techno copana, overture international banana. Timothy Sharp, Timothy Kanna. Oh yeah.
Really cool introduction, man. Again, we've got those very breathy, very airy sort of synthesizer pads that are giving it that almost angelic texture, which works really nicely. And again, right from the jump, we've got this cool sense of intense rhythm. Those drum sounds are hitting very, very potently. A lot of kind of dip to the low end. And it gives the whole thing a really nice bounce. Really cool introduction. Vocals sound great from the jump. Let's go. Cool use of drum rolls as well. The switch between the two vocal sections was really, really cool, man. And again, the way this is processed, you can't really notice that much difference vocally, but it works really nicely. Really like this artwork as well, the sort of color design with the purple sunglasses and the kind of almost like oil painting kind of shade to it. Works really well. So yeah, this one currently sat on 15 million. I think that says 15. No, it says 10. My bad. 10 million views. May the 4th, 2018. This one came out. Cool collaboration between, again, two I want to say trailblazing artists that have completely changed the game in their own individual ways. Obviously at the bottom you see Starboy and YBNL, produced by Mutai as well. Very, very cool. This sounds great, man. Again, this is a tune that I can imagine doing well in the dances at the time. Now, not as much. It does sound a little bit dated, but not necessarily. It's not necessarily a bad thing when something sounds dated. You know?
It's you Bill Gates to the morning, oh, to the morning. Yeah, I know Jack, I will listen to get is my mommy, oh, my mommy. You say you love me, and to get them on a story, oh, na story. Paper call, I know, na money, oh, na money. Olamide be sugar, up me lonely, oh, my honey. I'm roboto, baby, get down, oh, ya tongolo. Make me colo.
Really like how synthetic this is, man. Again, you've got those drum rolls that keep creeping in the background rhythm-wise, which I really, really like. That sort of... that almost like purring sense of snare texture in the backdrop. It just adds an extra kind of texture to the overall feel. And again, you've got this very kind of bulbous kind of bleepy sound across the middle as well, just kind of going boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. We'll give this one a little bit longer and then move on to track number 3. It sounded great, though.
Baby, get down, oh, ya tongolo. Drive me crazy, make me colo. I feel like a shack of Bobo. Oh, so low, oh, fake basis zombie, oh, you be zombie, yeah. If unaya tobawa, oh, my jaye, oh, my jaye.
I really like that sort of syncopated sound in there as well. It's just kind of going, I don't know whether that's a piece of percussion or like a woodwind sound, but it just adds an extra sense of direction and it gives the rhythm something to kind of collide around. Really, really cool intro, man. Yeah, this is wicked. Olamide and WizKid, Kanna, again, it's a collaboration that makes so much sense when you look back over what they've both done. I'm glad this happened. Again, sounding slightly dated, this one, but again, it's definitely still his fit for purpose, man. I can imagine this either going really well or kind of got people going, what? If someone played this in a dance today, but there we go. Moving on to track number 3 then. On this adventure through Olamide's catalogue. This one, Skelemba, and this one is one of the more popular tunes featuring Don Jazzy. This one's on 2 million, and this one came out in 2014. Really excited to have a look at this one. It's YBNL again. Let's go.
Hey, Don Jazzy.
Fuse on the beat.
Hey, Don Jazzy.
Hey,
Don Jazzy.
This is whatever it is, sir. You want him about with my sister. Ali Yankee at the CV, sir. And I no go ever dismiss, sir. The bed do the sweet time.
Already the drums on this are exceptional, man. I love that massive, almost orchestral level of kind of carnival-style drum texturing when you've just got 8 or 9 different pieces of percussion all doing their own thing, but it's all intertwined, all interwoven, and you get this beautiful backdrop of rhythm. Beautiful stuff. Don Jazzy's vocals all over this one automatically give it like a seal of approval, realistically. But the bounce is really cool, and what I've liked about this as a kind of listen through is the variation we've actually seen from Olamide. Looking back over his catalogue, the amount of different areas that he's been able to move into and examine and also be very kind of prominent in has been so exciting, man. What a way to kick this one off. Let's go. It's a cool video. Really cool video. Let's go, Don Jazzy, man. It's always cool to hear Don Jazzy's voice. Well, you're looking at 2 very, very important kind of label people here, aren't you? Now, realistically, YBNL and obviously Mavins as well with Don Jazzy. It's such a cool combination to actually look at. These are 2 and that's what I've liked about this as a selection today. You look at Wiz, realistically the artist that has probably done one of either the most, second most or third most on the global scale for this sound in the last 15 years. If we're looking at it on a purely sort of numbers level, but then you combine that and you kind of throw in Don Jazzy into the mix. You throw maybe Don Jazzy next to Olamide in the mix, which is obviously a massive label head. And Olamide's a label head as well. So we're looking at sort of foundational levels of what we're now listening to today. This isn't just about the sound as much. It's about the infrastructure. It's about those relationships we see develop. And that's what makes a scene flourish. And it's so cool to see.
When you come back again, I go money you straight no time to
Absolutely love that synth sound that's just kind of going again. You could hear that on a grime tune, you could hear that on a rave tune, you could hear that on a garage tune. I just love how kind of it almost kind of interwoven, I want to say, global elements are to this, where you've got these sort of sound effects and sound design going on that have these very kind of widely applicable melodies, and it's so cool to be able to see. Like, I'd have loved to have this is the sort of tune that I would have probably spun in a dance like 10 years ago, and it still kind of go off in the UK. So cool to see. Again, loving the bounce on this. The drums are fantastic. The combination of both of their vocals has worked really well. We'll give this one another 20 seconds or so and then round it off, but this has been such an enjoyable one.
Open up, baby, girl, I see it. What you want, baby, just carry it. Don't go there, do me like I see it. Pull up a monthly long thing, a monthly shall cool, Abiamo. Suma me, baby, my love, mom. Baby, now you be the girl I want. And I go give you so much more. Oh, yeah, break it, tumba. I was too much of I love you, love.
Wicked tune. Really good video as well, I've got to say, for this one. Loving all the kind of the use of shadow, the kind of way it's been directed is really, really cool, especially with the lighting in the background. Even shots like this where it's pure silhouette. Love it. Really, really cool. And a great way to round off this dive into Olamide. Again, a fantastic artist, someone who has helped shape the kind of Afrobeats global culture, not necessarily from a vocal perspective as much, but actually no, as from a vocal perspective, without a shadow of a doubt, but also from behind the scenes with his work with YBNL, and obviously helping build those relationships, helping build the idea of consistency, because this is a guy that represents consistency on a global level. So excited to do this series. Now, I want to hear from you guys about who you want the next episode of Rollback Reactions to be about, because I'm going to basically tick people off as we go. I'm not necessarily going to focus on older artists that aren't around anymore. I'm going to focus on the artists of now, and then kind of look at their older catalogue, because I want to react to kind of their history and understand their history within sound a little bit more. That's the main reason for doing this series. So let me know who you would like to see me examine in the comment section down below. Again, we're going to do 3 reactions for each one of these Rollback Reaction sections, and hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, do make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And we shall see you all next time, my friends. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and peace.
Bobo sounding so good right now.
Baddest sound in a Brighton town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cub Cam TV. Stay locked.